we wake, hear the birds and see the sun, side by side our feet.
Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's RJ and I live in that 96 Dodge Maxie back there, that wonderful little beast. There she is. We're here at the Flat Rock Park in Columbus, Georgia on a brisk day. It's 55 degrees, relative humidity is 86%. High today is going to be about 60 for about 3 minutes. And there's chance that there's 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. This weather report brought to you by my coffee, available whenever you need coffee. That's hot and so good. Pick up something today and drink it up. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 2:30. He's going to be there tomorrow. Jordan's going to be, Ashley will be there tomorrow. And I was going to go in, and Jordan said no. Jordan said no because, well, she was there when I had my stroke. And she knew what I was going through, and, you know, they like that to watch over me, because I will jump in and work 6 days a week once again. It won't be no problem until the inevitable happens, and that's not what I want to do. I'm an all-in type of person, and regardless of the situation, I will put myself to the side, secondary, and I need her to do exactly what she's doing and keep me square. We are so close at the shop to getting things right. It's pathetic. Everybody was rude yesterday. The shop was just rude. Extremely freaking rude. And yeah, it's a black and mild wine, wood tip, if anybody's wanting to know. Cold, but it's all right. I live in a van. I do this. I do this 24/7, 365 days a year. We make decisions about certain things. It works for me. Nobody can understand it. I don't expect anybody to understand it. I'm just looking for me. I'm looking for something that feels right, is right, and I'm outside the box. Because before I had the stroke, I did things a certain way. I went a certain way in all aspects of life. With the way I held my family, with the way I held my relationships, with the way I held my job, with the way I did certain things. After my stroke, for the most part, it was totally different. I've done several things since my stroke that I never did before. Example number one, I allowed myself to be resigned. They resigned me. I did not quit. I did not resign. They resigned me on my job. For the first time since I was 15, I had never had a job to go to once I left one. I always had one lined up. I always gave them a 2 weeks notice. 5 years in the barbecue business. I spent 15 years in the parts business, and then 20 plus years over at the Honda dealership. And everything worked. I had security. I had that security that I had a paycheck every week, and it was a good paycheck. Let's face facts. It was a very good paycheck. But because I was thinking in a certain way, I lived a certain way. I wish I'd started VanLife when I was in my heyday of working at Honda. because I'd have a whole ton of money put up. But, so after my stroke, I was without a job for the first time in my life. I sat there. It was like I purposely did it. I purposely did it. I purposely allowed my money to flow down. I purposely allowed myself to be on a minimal budget. I purposely allowed myself not to be with a job. What? Maybe because I wanted to see, because I'd seen all these other people do it over the years, and like, how do you do that? How can you go through it and not have something guaranteed the next day? Well, it's easy. It's a little hard. You got to watch your pennies. You gotta put up money when you get it. You can't spend it as soon as you make it. And I grew accustomed to that. And for about 5 years, 4.5 years, 3.5 years, whatever the time span, until July 18th, 2024, that's the way I was going through life. And it was great. Let me tell you, I had no stress. There was no stress in what I was doing. None. I had gotten everything out of my life. I had my credit card bill, my phone bill, which I got to pay my credit card today and my phone bill today, and then my insurance and my truck. And my truck never needed. I was always a step ahead on my needs with fixing the van. And I'm glad I did it that way, because when the thing before this fell through, I felt good about it. I had done raised the top on it. I had done sealed up all the leaks. I had done modified my intake manifold. I've done put a timing chain and new water pump on it. I've done the brakes, this front suspension. The only thing I got left is steering. I still got $500 worth of parts sitting in there, just got to be put on, because I ain't got no tools, but that's coming. And I got the rear suspension to handle. To this point, and it's different. It's way different. Because I've been working since I was 15 and had that mindset and did things the certain way. It wasn't until 5 years ago that I decided to work outside my box. Step outside my comfort zone. Then I end up over this dealership that I used to make fun of, and everybody, it was always the butt end of the joke, because they were just bad. They were just bad. And now I'm working there. And I feel I add some class. I've raised the bar in the place. And I'm raising it so much. I was talking to Al Teller the other day, and he was with Nissan in this dealership in the heyday when they were moving the metal and everything was functioning. And he said it's been a long time, but it's almost there. It was almost there. He hears it, he feels it. He's kind of excited. But yeah, it's a second coming. It's a second time around for the deal. But I've stepped out of my comfort zone. And with my personal life, I want to stay outside that box. I want to stay outside that comfort box. I want to try things a little different. I would have never thought that I would ever live in a van. I'm living in a van. I don't have a house. And that's kind of scary, but I've managed to do it. I've got P.O. boxes. I've got an address. I've got... Everything works if you want it to. Everything works. I purposely lived out of my pilot for 6 months not knowing a darn thing about anything except just how to survive, and then got into my travel trailer because I wanted something a little different. But yeah, the pilot, I had my studio. It was great. I showered outside. It was wild. I remember one time, the first time I had a shower real bad, and it was 48 degrees outside. I set the propane heaters up and the torpedo heater and took me a shower outside. I built wind barriers around me, and I made it work. It was cold as crap. I wouldn't do it again. No, ain't gonna do it again. I don't care. I will just do something else. But that's all I had in mind to do, and that was before my stroke. And you know, it is what it is. You can do anything you want to do. You can do anything you put your mind to it. You can do anything that you need to do as long as it's what you want to do. A wise man told me one time that there's never time to do it right, but there's always time to do it over. And that holds true with a lot of things. We were talking mechanics at this point, and he brought that up when I went to him. He was George up him at the parts house. And I went in there, and somebody had given me a 2-speed transmission, and I had a 3-speed transmission. And slide power glide. And I went in there because it wouldn't go in. I just couldn't get it to go in. And he talked to me. And basically what he said was, the only reason why it won't fit is because of you. You don't want it to fit because the transmission casings are totally interchangeable. The torque converters would totally bolt up to the flywheel. It's you. So I went back a couple days, dug out the hole underneath the Chevelle a little bit deeper, got up under there, and by golly, within about 2 hours, I had that transmission mated to the engine. I lifted it with my knees, put the bolts in with my hands, and you know, I got it going. That was the first transmission, the second transmission, because before that I did a 3-speed manual, which was, that was fun. But yeah, you can do anything you want to do. The only thing stopping you is the want to, or the excuses you have for not being able to do it. It's Sunday, it's March 9th, it's, geez, what is it? 65 or 66 on the episode? It could be 67 because I messed up on yesterday's video, and I'm sorry about that. I think it's 67 because I remember it was 66 in my head. So I think it's 67. So thanks for everybody sticking around. I hope you enjoy your Sunday afternoon. I'm going to try to make the best of it. I'm going to clean up here and just sit out here. And, you know, the good thing about having food out and when it's cold, you don't have to refer about refrigeration. It's sitting right there. I can put it inside. It won't be no big deal because it's cool outside. And I'm going to finish the rest of this nice maple pecan coffee. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you didn't, tune in next time. Maybe I'll say something that's more interesting or not. It really doesn't matter because I'm posting these for me. I'm posting these for me because my memory bites, and this gives me a daily insight to what my head was thinking at that time, at that moment. So coming to you from Flat Rock Park in Columbus, Georgia, this is Southern VanLife. I'm RJ. That's the 96 Dodge Maxi, which is the star of this zone. And call your mom, please. Everybody have a great day. We'll holler at you later. Bye, everyone.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun, side by side.